Hi Alejandra, how are you? This is your class observation feedback video, and first I will start mentioning the two focus areas that you chose at the beginning of this project. The first one was students' level of English, and the second one was formative and summative assessment. So based on these two focus areas, I will start giving you the feedback of the second class observation in stage 3 of this project, right? So let's start first with the focus area number 1, which is students' level of English. Based on your class observation, it was an excellent thing to create 7 teams before starting the activities of the class. Also, something that caught my attention was that you always use L2 or English as a means of communication and instruction. It was so meaningful to students or for students the way you organized the game about the first conditional. They loved it. It allowed the students to have some interactions and to reflect on the hidden grammar of the task. So I saw there a very clear inductive approach in teaching. Continuing with the feedback, something I liked a lot was that the filling in the gaps game helped students to feel motivated to participate and to try to guess the missing words related to the first conditional, even though the filling in the gaps game had a grammar focus. How you use the game allowed students to infer and use the grammar, generating interactions among them, right? Some recommendations regarding this first focus area would be like when you change from the game activity to the review workshop, it would have been good that after your exploration, students would have had the opportunity to speak and create some sentences by speaking using the conditional 0 and conditional 1. I think that you would have that it would have been better if you would have focused your attention on fostering students to create more oral products or real life oral products using the grammar or the content of the class. Regarding the matching worksheet, it was an amazing idea to design that task because it allowed students to cooperate, reflect, and the grammar they work with and solve the challenge you presented to them. One driving question that I have in this feedback is, have you thought about selecting the smartest students in the class to be the leaders of each team? I think that if you identify which students are the smartest ones, you could ask them to be the leaders of some teams, and in some way they will help you to lead and to make students understand instructions and activities they get to do. So I think that by selecting those leaders, those leaders can or could help you a lot, allowing students to understand more and to cooperate more, right? Now let's focus our attention on the second focus area, that was formative and summative assessment. Something that caught my attention was that you included peer feedback in the review workshop. It allowed students to cooperate and to evaluate each other. So I saw there a very clear promotion of the 21st century skills. I really like the way you planned the assessment strategies. You incorporated plenty of formative strategies such as peer feedback, teachers' feedback, and questioning, among others. In addition, it was so evident the promotion of 21st century skills, as I told you, such as cooperation and communication using English all the time. So that was something that caught my attention and was something that I liked it. One small question about this would be, have you thought about including summative assessment activities inside the classes? I think that all the assessment processes were focused only or having a big focus only on the formative assessment, but you have to bear in mind that assessment has formative assessment, that is questioning, peer feedback, self-assessment, teacher's feedback, etc. And summative assessment, which is the product or the result. I think that that was something that was missing in your class, maybe because of the time. But based on this, I have an action plan for next year or some recommendation for next year that I would like you to bear in mind just when you start planning the next classes of the next year. So based on this, my recommendation, or I recommend you to focus your attention on your teaching practice next year in summative assessment. It would be a good idea that you start including digital mediation activities or sources when evaluating your students summatively. Some tools I suggest you to evaluate your students in a summative way are Mentimeter, for example, for writing prompts or for asking the students to write, or also to ask students to give feedback to other students, for example. Quiz Quizlet, or Kahoot. Those tools will help you to, after you present a topic, you can monitor the levels of understanding the students are having, right? So Quizlet, Kahoot, those would be tools that can help you a lot. And not only you, but also students, because they will have the opportunity to be evaluated. You can also distribute teams or create teams and to foster competitions among them. And of course, fostering or encouraging them to use L2 all the time to cooperate and to solve those activities that you include for next year. Thank you, teacher, for your time. Thank you for allowing me to be in your class. This was your feedback. Have a nice day.